Have you ever checked your bank account after a normal month and wondered where all your money disappeared to? You didn't buy anything crazy or expensive, just normal stuff. Groceries, a few meals out, maybe a new phone because your old one was getting slow. Normal expenses. But your balance says otherwise. The truth is, and most people don't realize this until it's too late, a lot of the things we buy today just aren't worth it anymore. Prices have gone way up for things that used to be reasonable, and we all just go along with it because everyone else does. But what if I told you that this normal spending is silently draining your wealth? Hi, I'm Mike. I teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. Stick around, because what I'm about to show you could save you thousands. Subscribe now and hit like if this video helps you. Let's start with something that might make some people defensive, but it needs to be said. Fast food isn't cheap anymore. It just isn't. Remember when fast food was cheap and quick? That was the whole point. You could grab a meal and still have money left over. Those days are gone. Now a meal at McDonald's or Burger King can cost $12, $15, sometimes $20. $20 for fast food. Can you believe that? And that's not even sitting down at a restaurant with plates and someone bringing you water. You're standing at a counter or sitting in your car eating out of a paper bag, and it costs about the same as a decent meal at a casual restaurant used to cost a few years ago. The value just isn't there anymore. You're paying a lot of money for food that hasn't really changed in quality, which is to say, it's not great. And people still do it because it's easy, and we all think this is normal now. But normal doesn't mean smart. It gets even worse when you go to sit-down restaurants. This one might hit home. This used to be something you could do fairly often without breaking the budget. Maybe once or twice a week, no big deal. But now eating out has become a luxury that adds up shockingly fast. You sit down, order a couple of main dishes, maybe an appetizer, and definitely drinks, and before you know it, the bill is $60, $70, $80 for two people at a regular restaurant, not even fancy. Add a tip, and suddenly you've spent $100 on one meal. $100 just gone. You can't get it back. It's not like you bought something valuable. You just ate food. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a meal out. But if you do this several times a week, which many people do, it can cost thousands of dollars a month without you even realizing it. And for what? Food that you could have made at home for much less. Maybe it wouldn't taste quite as good, but would it really be worth spending 5 or 6 times more? Probably not. Most people who struggle financially, who are trying to save, invest, or build wealth, eat out too often. That's usually where a big part of their income goes. They don't even notice because it's $20 here, $30 there, but it adds up to a huge optional expense. Now let's talk about cars, specifically brand new cars. This one drives me crazy. The math is obvious, yet people still do it. Buying a new car is one of the worst financial choices you can make. The moment you drive it off the lot, it loses about 20% of its value. You haven't even gotten home, and you're already down thousands of dollars. Then it keeps losing value every year. Most people finance cars, which means they pay interest too. So you're paying more while the car keeps losing value. It's the opposite of an investment. It's just wasting money. People do it because they like the new car smell and want the latest model. They want others to see them driving something new. Status stuff. That's fine if you're rich. But if you're a normal person trying to build wealth, buying new cars will keep you poor. A 3 or 4-year-old used car will work just as well, get you to the same places, and cost half as much, maybe even less. Someone else already absorbed the depreciation. You don't need to pay it again. But people convince themselves they deserve a new car. They work hard, so they should treat themselves. Except treating yourself to a new car often means being broke for years. Next, let's talk about clothing, especially luxury branded clothes. This one surprises a lot of people. I'm not saying all expensive clothes are a waste. Sometimes you need high-quality items that last, like a good pair of boots or a well-made coat. That can actually save you money in the long run. But most people buying expensive clothes aren't doing that. They're buying logos and brand names just to show they own luxury items. Paying crazy prices for just a logo. Sounds familiar? A plain white t-shirt might cost $10, but the same shirt with a designer logo could cost $200. Same cotton, same factory, probably. The only difference is the logo. People pay that $200 because they think it makes them look successful or fashionable. But here's the kicker. Nobody really cares except you. You're just spending $190 extra for no reason. This is true for a lot of clothing. Designer jeans, luxury handbags, expensive sneakers. The quality difference is usually tiny. You're mostly paying for the name. That's fine if you have money to burn, but most people don't. Many go into credit card debt to buy designer clothes because they think it's important. Spoiler alert, it's not. Marketing convinces you that you need these things to feel valuable, but you don't. Vacations are another example of money going out of control. This one hits every millennial and Gen Z out there. Vacationing used to be affordable if you were smart. You could find cheap flights, stay at budget hotels, eat at inexpensive local restaurants, and have fun without spending a lot. Now, flights are expensive, hotels are expensive, even budget options cost more than before. And people still take expensive vacations they can't afford because they feel like they have to. They see friends posting vacation photos on social media and feel pressure to do the same. So they put trips on credit cards and spend the next year paying them off with interest. Travel can be great. Seeing new places, experiencing new cultures. But here's the problem. Not if it puts you in debt or stops you from saving or investing. There's a belief that you have to travel while you're young, see the world, and collect experiences. Experiences are good, but so is not being broke, not being stressed about money, and not having to work until you're 70 because you spent all your money on trips in your 20s and 30s. A better approach is smaller trips close to home, exploring your area, finding cheap or free things to do. Save big international trips for when you can afford them without debt. But people don't want to hear that. They want permission to spend money they don't have. And subscriptions, streaming services, are another trap. Everyone's guilty here. Everyone has 5 or 6 now. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Paramount Plus, and more. Each costs $10, $15 a month. That doesn't sound like much, but together it can be $60, $80 a month. Almost $1,000 a year. And how much of that do you really watch? Probably 1 or 2 services, and you barely use the others. Yet you keep paying for all of them because you might want to watch something later. That's money that could go to investments, savings, or paying off debt. But instead, it's going to stuff you hardly use. Cable is even worse. Yes, cable, still alive and draining wallets. People still pay for cable even though most shows are available online. People are paying $150 a month for cable with hundreds of channels they never watch. Think about that. $150 down the drain every month. It's completely unnecessary, but they keep doing it because that's what they've always done. They haven't bothered to cancel and find a cheaper option, so they just keep paying and losing money. It's not just cable. People do the same with gym memberships. They sign up, pay $50 or $60 a month, go for the first 2 weeks, and then never go again. Sound familiar? But they keep paying because canceling feels like admitting failure. That's another $500, $600 a year gone. Money that could have been saved, invested, or spent on something that actually matters. But instead, it's wasted on a gym you're not using because you don't want to admit you aren't going. Then there's buying new electronics. Every year a new phone comes out, and people line up to buy it, even if their current phone works fine. New laptops, tablets, smartwatches, you name it. The old one still works, but the new one has slightly better features, so people feel they have to upgrade. This is probably one of the dumbest ways people waste money, and almost everyone does it to some degree. A new iPhone costs around $1,000 now, maybe more depending on the model. People buy them every year or every 2 years, even though their old phone works perfectly. Sure, the new one might have a better camera or faster processor, but does it really improve your life in any meaningful way? Probably not. You're still using it to scroll social media, text, and take pictures of your food. The old phone did all that just fine. And it's not just phones. Laptops, tablets, gaming consoles. People constantly upgrade to the newest version, even when the old one works perfectly. Tech companies know exactly how to make people feel like they need the latest model. They release a new version every year with minor improvements, and people fall for it every time. If you just kept your phone or laptop for 4 or 5 years instead of upgrading constantly, you'd save thousands of dollars. That money could be invested and earn returns. But instead, it goes to Apple, Samsung, or whoever, because people feel they need the newest gadget. Here's the kicker. Devices don't last as long as they used to. They are made to break or become outdated faster, so you have to buy new ones. Planned obsolescence is real, and it hurts everyone. But people keep buying the shiny new thing to feel like they are keeping up with technology, even though most people don't really need it. Another area that's out of control is household stuff. Branded cleaning products, expensive kitchen gadgets, designer furniture, all of it. People spend way too much on basic items because they think expensive means better. Sometimes that's true, but usually you're just paying for the brand. Generic cleaning products work just as well, but cost half as much. A cheap spatula from the dollar store works the same as a fancy one from Williams-Sonoma. Nobody needs a $400 blender unless they run a smoothie shop, but people buy it anyway, hooked by the marketing. There's now a culture of having the perfect kitchen with all the right gadgets. People buy specialized tools for things they make once a year. Bread makers they never use, pasta makers collecting dust, expensive knife sets when they only use 2 knives. It's just stuff taking up space and wasting money. Furniture is the same. People finance furniture like it's a car or house. Crazy, right? They go into debt to buy a couch that will wear out or get stained in 5 years. But they want the fancy one. They put it on a payment plan and pay interest. That's insane. You can get a perfectly good couch for a few $100s if you look. Thrift stores, online sales, clearance items. But people don't want that. They want everything perfect, matching, Instagram-worthy. So they spend thousands on furniture they can't afford. Then there's status spending. This is when people buy things not because they need them or even really want them, but to look successful. Expensive watches, designer bags, luxury cars they can barely afford. It's all about showing off, and it's backwards. Wealthy people usually don't do this. They don't need to prove anything. It's people who want to look rich but aren't building wealth who fall into this trap. They spend money on things that lose value just to look rich to friends, neighbors, and strangers who don't care. Meanwhile, they have no savings, no investments, nothing for the future. But they have the watch and bag, so everyone thinks they're doing great. It's all fake. The sad part is, this is often driven by insecurity. People think if they have the right stuff, they'll feel better, or others will respect them. Spoiler, it doesn't work that way. Respect comes from your actions and character, not your handbag brand. Feeling better about yourself doesn't come from going into debt to buy things you don't need. So where does this leave us? Almost everything costs more than it used to, and most of it isn't worth it. Fast food is expensive and bad. Restaurants are overpriced. New cars are financial suicide. Clothes are marked up too much. Vacations cost more than they should. Subscriptions drain money. Electronics are overpriced and break easily. Household items cost too much. Status spending is just wasting money to impress nobody. The solution isn't complicated. Stop buying things you don't need. Stop trying to keep up with everyone else. Stop believing marketing that tells you you need the newest version of everything. Seriously, most of it is unnecessary. Cook more at home. You'll save hundreds every month. Keep your car for longer. Buy used when you can. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Don't let them silently drain your wallet. Keep your phone until it actually breaks. Buy generic products. Stop trying to look rich and start actually building real wealth. That's what it comes down to. You can either look wealthy or be wealthy, but for most people, you can't do both. Every dollar you spend trying to impress others or buying things you don't need is a dollar that isn't helping your future. Yes, maybe that means your life looks a little less impressive on social media. Maybe you don't have the newest phone, the fanciest car, or the most exotic vacation photos. But here's the truth. You know what you will have: savings, investments, money, real financial security, not just the appearance of it. That's worth way more than any Instagram post or status symbol. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. I'm not saying you have to live like a monk and never enjoy anything. That's not the point. Enjoy life, but do it wisely. Buy things that actually matter to you, things that genuinely improve your life or make you truly happy. But be honest about what those things are. Most of the stuff people spend money on doesn't really make them happier. It just makes them broke. And being broke definitely doesn't make you happy. The truth is, prices have gone up on everything, and they probably won't go down. Companies know they can charge more and people will pay, so prices keep rising, and we keep paying because we think we don't have a choice. But here's the good news. We do have a choice. We can stop buying overpriced stuff. We can say no. We can keep our old phone another year. We can cook dinner instead of eating out. We can skip the designer version and buy the normal one. It's not hard once you actually think about it instead of just following the crowd. The people who figure this out early are the ones who end up financially comfortable later. The people who keep spending money they don't have on things they don't need are the ones who end up stressed about money for their whole lives, wondering why they can't get ahead, even though they make decent money. Here's the kicker. All these little expenses that seem reasonable in the moment add up to thousands of dollars every year and just disappear. So think about where your money is really going. Track it for a month if you need to. You'll probably be surprised how much you spend on stuff that doesn't matter. Then figure out what you can cut, because I guarantee there's something. Usually, there's a lot of somethings. And that money could be doing something way more useful than paying for your 7th streaming service or your 3rd meal out this week. If you want to take control of your money and build real wealth, subscribe to the channel, hit like, and turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Your future self will thank you.